September 16, I killed my dog in a dream. I fed him too much cheese, and then he passed away.
You've definitely been visiting, Snark. I don't think Ethan was wrong to call that out. You're using a Snark talking point. Like, no one outside of Snark is running with that narrative that Ethan killed his dog with cheese. That's fucking retarded.
To be clear, I also made fun of Hasan in the song by referencing how he potentially shocks his dog, and based on the evidence available, I think it seems like he does. To me, it seems like both
Oh, how he potentially shocks his dog. So you're not sure if Hasan shocked his dog, even though we saw that happen on camera, but you're 100% sure that Ethan poisoned his dog with cheese, even though you never saw Ethan feed it cheese. Like, you could probably go stand out front of a Walmart and stop 100 people and ask them, why shouldn't you feed your dog cheese? And they'll be like, I guarantee you most of them are going to go, wait, you can't feed your dog cheese? I thought that was chocolate. Like, I guarantee most people wouldn't know.
Ryan, what benefits do you think Ethan has gotten from being Jewish?
He's got access to those Jewish space tasers so he could hit Hasan's dog. So now we get to see the fallout from the Ryan Beard, Ethan Klein drama. Ryan Beard shot strays at Ethan during his latest video on David, which I thought the video on David was good. I don't feel the Ethan pop shot was necessary. There are a ton of other ways you could have made that joke without. I mean, fuck, you could have referenced the Key and Peele skit. You could have just reenacted that. I mean, there were a ton of other ways to make that joke without taking a pop shot at Ethan. The pop shot at Ethan seemed unnecessary, and then I thought maybe it was just something. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I gave him the charitable take where I was like, well, maybe he wasn't really thinking it through, and it was just, you know, an easy, just first thing that came to mind. But then they exchanged DMs, and it became very obvious in the DMs that this was very much intentional. He was trying to take that pop shot at Ethan for reasons I don't know. And apparently they've been going back and forth at it for a while, and the internet has been reacting to it. So we're going to watch the fallout from that intro segment to his last video right now.
Days ago, YouTuber Ryan Beard put out a video on singer-songwriter David, who had allegations levied against him that he killed his girlfriend. And in this video, Ryan writes a parody of David's music where he jokes about Ethan Klein killing his dog a shredder by feeding it too much cheese.
On September 16,
Yeah, so he's just going to show the intro. So this was it. This was the only Ethan mention in it. You could have taken this out of that video, and the video would have still stood on its own. This was completely unnecessary.
killed my dog in a dream. I fed him too much cheese, and then he passed away.
In chats, Ryan did.
That's not what's in the video. Go watch my reaction to it. That's not what's in the video. He must have edited it down. He must have cut that part. I don't remember the cheese bit and him saying then it passed away. He just said, oh, he said I killed him in a dream, but only in a dream. And yeah, it was much shorter in the actual video, if I'm remembering right. I don't remember the cheese bit, so this is a little bit more blatant. So maybe that's the part that Ethan Klein saw, because I remember watching it and I was like, is this about Ethan's dog? It seemed a little less on the nose. So maybe he changed it after their conversation. He went into the YouTube editor and cut part of the song. I don't know. I'll have to go back and rewatch it now. Maybe it is in there, but I don't remember the cheese bit in there.
Denied that this parody was about Ethan, rather that it was just a subtle reference. And along with this, Ryan got various responses from some of Ethan's fans.
I mean, if the cheese bit was in there, and that's the one that Ethan saw, that's not a subtle reference. That's pretty on the nose. If he's claiming it's a subtle reference and people go watch it now, and it is and it is cut the way I remember it being cut. Like I said, I could be wrong. I could be misremembering, but I don't remember the cheese bit. But if he did cut out that line about the cheese and like lined it up so that the music fit and just cut out that one little line, that one little part of the chorus to make it shorter, then it is more subtle, which is why I thought Ethan might have been overreacting. But if that's the case, it sounds like maybe Ethan had a point. I can see why he would have DM'd him now.
Disappointed in his choice
you don't
to
remember
bring
him
this up.
referencing the cheese?
No, so the version of the hold on. Are you watching it now?
It's paused.
Oh no, okay, hold on. I'm gonna pull up the Ryan Beard video and rewatch the intro now and see. But I'll do that on my YouTube just so we don't have to mess up what's in
I've been
Discord.
releasing exclusive videos over there every month.
See, I don't know if I can do it on screen, but just to see if he mentions the cheese. So let's listen.
On September 16th,
Because I remember seeing him bring up the cheese part, but I'm not sure if that's the exact line you're talking about.
Let me see if it matches what's there. Because I could just be misremembering. Because I thought he went from the dog and into the dream part, but I may just be misremembering.
My dog in a dream, only in a dream. Hey,
Yeah, it's not there. It's not there. It literally cuts from in a dream to only in a dream. That's what I remembered. It's not there. He cut out the cheese line. I fed him too much cheese and then he passed away. That's not in the video now. He cut it. Because it's only like 2 sentences. Because I remember the song being very short. He said, I killed my dog in a dream, but only in a dream. And then it cuts to the video. And that's it. There's the only 2 lines. We just listened to it. So he did cut it. And now he's going to say it's subtle and try to gaslight everybody on Twitter, because people on Twitter who didn't see it and are hearing about it are going to go watch it, and they're going to think that Ethan is overreacting. That it was subtle. He could have been just, it was just not that big a deal. But the version in this is way different. Oh, that's fucking slimy, dude. That's fucking slimy. Because now you're going to make Ethan look crazy for cutting the video. Because new people watching it aren't going to see the cheese line. This is why reaction channels, if I can defend my lazy slop content for a moment, this is why reaction channels are important. People like Internet Versus who just document people's reactions and who capture those reactions, and reaction channels like mine or Chud Logic or Nicholas York, people who react to things when they drop. Because if they change after they've been dropped, after they got a bad reaction, you can get the original version from the reactors. We double as archive channels. You also have to put up with our shitty reactions during it. Fuck you. It's transformative. I ain't trying to get sued. But this is why that's important. Because you have a perfect example of it right here. We just saw a version of the song that had a line specifically making it absolutely clear that he is referencing Ethan Klein feeding cheese to his dog. That is a very specific way for a dog to die. But in the video now, it just says, I killed my dog in a dream, but only in a dream. And that's the entirety of the parody that's in the video right now. So that's a little more ambiguous. So you've got half of Twitter probably. Go ahead.
He also cut out the part where he flashed the dog on the screen, like a picture.
There's still the picture of the dog, but I mean, it's a common dog breed, so it doesn't necessarily like it was a stock image of a dog. It wasn't specifically Ethan's dog. And then it cuts to only in a dream, and then it ends. But in the version we just watched, he shows a picture of cheese, and then he shows a picture of a tombstone. And did he have? Hold on. Let's go back and rewatch it. Did he have Shredder's name on that tombstone? See, because compare this to what we just watched, because it cuts from where we're at here, where he says only in a dream, where he says in a dream, and then the next line is only in a dream. But in this version,
I fed him too much cheese, and then he passed away.
In chats, Ryan denied that this parody.
yeah, so the whole ending's different. Like, it didn't even play the only in a dream part, unless Internet Versus is cutting it before he got to that. So he either cut that part out of the song, or he changed the ending. Which, I mean, if he's doing it on YouTube's YouTube editor without re-uploading the video, he would have had to cut it. Because you can cut stuff out of a video directly on YouTube without taking the video down, but you can't insert new footage into it. So he would have had to cut that part and then make the music line up. Or unless this is a re-upload, and he's re-uploaded it since. and we just saw the re-uploaded version and not the original. Maybe he got a bunch of backlash from the original, and then he re-uploaded it and changed the song. But the song is definitely different. And it didn't look like Shredder's name was on the tombstone, but it wasn't that on the nose. But, I mean, it's pretty obvious that's an Ethan Klein reference in the original version of the song, not the one we watched. Oh, that's dirty, Ryan Beard. I don't like that. I don't like that. Stand by your content. I don't like that. Especially if you're going to be on Twitter defending it as if you did nothing wrong, but you're secretly editing the video so that new people that watch it will see a different version. Oh, that's sneaky bullshit. The song is not about Ethan by any way. It's a parody of David talking about murder in this song. I was only slightly referencing him. I also make fun of Hasan. Yeah, you make fun of Hasan later in the video. And if the version we watched was the only version of the video that existed, then I would say that would be an accurate statement. But what Internet Versus just played us, that's not a subtle reference. And it's very clear you're talking about Ethan. So now you're just lying. Ooh, yeah, I don't like that at all. All right, let's see the reactions, because we're going to play a game with this one when we look at the reactions where we try to see if we can point out the people that reacted to the original versus the people that saw the video late like we did and are reacting to the now edited version of the song.
Was about Ethan rather than it was just a subtle reference. And along with this, Ryan got various responses from some of Ethan's fans disappointed in his choice to bring this up, stating that they think it's needlessly cruel and that Ethan was just doing what his vet told him to do.
True. That was my takeaway even from the subtle reference, but I was trying to be charitable because it was subtle. What we just saw was not subtle.
However, Ryan had a back and forth with Ethan himself in DMs, which Ethan posted on his story, where in it, Ryan doubles down, saying it's fine to take jabs at Ethan Klein for being a bad pet owner, and that it's unfair to invoke snark because that's guilt by association. Welcome to the Internet versus Ryan Beard. And Ethan Klein. It starts when No Month posts in the H3H Productions subreddit comments on Ryan's new video defending Ethan. And there's one from Dinosaurus Rex saying, "Pretty disappointed in your comparisons. I think making fun of someone who is desperate to help their dog, a dog which then died and he cried about it, clearly showing he cares and loves it, is really not an empathetic thing to do. I've watched for years and was hoping for a better stance here. I don't hate you or wish you badly. I just think this world could use more empathy. Also, what would the victim's family think about this song? I don't know. It's all a bit yucky. Good luck. And though losing a subscriber won't do anything, I'm sad to leave your channel." There's a comment from Parking Tigers who says, "Where's the video?"
Okay, he straight up started losing subscribers over this. So I'm going to guess that one was someone who saw the original version. It's now making sense why he probably changed it then. Because he started actually like losing subscribers, which means losing money. Like it's affecting his channel now. So he's going to change it and try to gaslight people. You just shouldn't have took the shot, Ryan.
A good portion of Ryan's audience might have been H3 fans because H3 has given him shoutouts a few times.
Yeah, because H3 shouted him out after the Destiny thing. Yeah, like he probably got. I mean, this was a dumb shot to take. Because you see your analytics, Ryan. Like you fucking know this shit. You get the emails for the analytics. You see your dashboard every day, like all the rest of us do. You saw the fruits of your labor after making the Destiny vid, getting it shouted out on Ethan's podcast, because I guarantee you could probably go look at his social blade right now and see it from the date that H3 shouted him out for the Destiny vid and reacted to it, and then watch his channel just boop get a nice spike after that. So you know where those new subscribers came from. Like you know where all that new viewership came from, and then to like bite the hand that feeds you here and take shots at the guy who shouted you out. Like, why? I don't understand why. Unless he's, a secret snarker. I ain't even going to say he's a secret snarker, but you've definitely been visiting Snark. I don't think Ethan was wrong to call that out. You're using a Snark talking point. Like, no one outside of Snark is running with that narrative that Ethan killed his dog with cheese. That's fucking retarded.
Video on Hasan. Ryan's silence means something. Tuppa Soup says, what does Ethan's dog have to do with a child's murder? Text Sketch says, what the fuck was that ending? And there's another comment that's cut off the username, but they say, yeah, can't help but echo the comments a bit here. I like you, dude, but that song was the definition of bad taste. With genuine all due respect, what the fuck were you thinking? Everything was fine till it's a parody about a dead girl with H3 references. Like, I don't know, usually the parodies are funny, but this one just didn't feel right to me. I'm gonna have to take a break from your videos after this. Sorry, that put a real nasty taste in my mouth.
Yeah, so it's losing. It's just person after person subscribing and being like, what the fuck? Why?
Tearjerk says, justice for Celeste. That part about Ethan's dog is pretty mean and cruel though. As a pet owner, I empathize with him, and feel as though it wasn't necessary to include in this video about a teenager's death. Messia says, everyone is complaining about the song, but I think this whole video is unethical. Covering a recent crime of this caliber is sick and frankly irresponsible.
Okay, well, I disagree with that. I mean, I think the rest of his video is fine. I think he did a pretty good job of laying out why, especially like covering a crime of this caliber is unethical. No, not when the police aren't questioning the guy who should be a suspect in the crime. So a video like this could help make that happen. So I'll defend the rest of his video. The rest of the video is fine. It does a good job of laying out all the breadcrumbs that David's left behind, to all the red flags that pointed to the fact that this could have been prevented. And since it's too late to prevent it, there's at least reason to question him. Like, he's pointed out enough evidence in his video that the cops don't really have an excuse for not at least questioning David now. Yeah, like that pressure needs to be put on the police to make them question this dude so he doesn't get away with it. Especially if he did it, which in my opinion looks like he fucking did.
Ryan, you make 2 to 3 videos a year. This story just came out, and this is the video you're making? The fuck? Songko Sensei says, perhaps you can make a self-aware parody of Eminem's Stan next. Dear Ethan, I wrote you in the members chat, but you still ain't letting me call in. Pathetic ghoulish attempt to gain back relevance by mocking the traumatic death of a pet. Guided on advice of his vet until the end. And last YouTube comment here is Redav, who says, if you ever had someone close to you, you know when they die.
Yeah, like, was it bait? I'm trying to figure out why you would do it. Like, was it bait? Because I know he said he made fun of Hasan, but I don't even, like, the difference is, I don't even remember the Hasan joke. I mean, he probably had one throwaway line about Hasan in there, but you made a whole ass music video parody on Ethan. Everyone, like, I remember that. I don't even remember the line about Hasan, so I'm going, is this bait? Like, is he trying to get, even if it's just for the song and not the entirety of the video, is he trying to get Hasan or some of Hasan's orbiters to react to the video? You already got H3 to react to one, so now you need them to react to it? Is it like a weird clout chase? Like, I'm trying to figure out the thought process behind wanting to put this in your video after your channel just saw a massive amount of growth because the guy you're about to make fun of shouted you out. Like, what's the reason? What do you have to gain from this? Because obviously you're going to lose a lot of the subscribers that he helped you gain if you start taking shots at him. So why do it? Unless you think you can get more subscribers from the other side if they react to it. I don't know. I'm trying to go content brain mode to figure out what the motive is here. That, or you've completely drank the snarker Kool-Aid like Ethan is accusing you of. But if I'm being charitable and saying, okay, it's not related to snark, Ethan's just paranoid, well, then what's the reason then? Why do it? And the only other reason I can come up with is, oh, you want Denims or Hasan or Frogan or somebody from that circle to react to this video on stream and, you know, have a good laugh at Ethan because you think they will. You think they'll take the bait. And then all of their audience will come and sub to you. So maybe you think the amount of subscribers you'll get from them will outweigh the amount you'll lose from H3. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Die or when something tragic happens, you second guess and question everything. Could I have gone to the doctors/vets quicker? Would this have happened if I didn't feed them this?
Yeah, that's all the stuff I said on my stream. It's pretty normal.
If I didn't leave the house at this exact moment in time, would this have happened, etc., etc., etc. Using Ethan's comments he made in a time when he was extremely vulnerable and heartbroken at the loss of a beloved family pet and making a dumb song mocking this, in the same video about the murder of an innocent teen.
Not just making a song mocking it, but defending it in DMs and then judging him for it by saying he's a bad pet owner. And the only piece of evidence you have is that one clip where he's mentioning the part about the cheese, because the only reason you know about it is because he told you, and you were basically just watching him go through the grieving process over the loss of his dog in real time because he streams his podcast live and going, Maybe it's me, and you're just watching him process his grief and using that as evidence against him, which is super fucking shitty.
Teenager is despicable. Shame on you, Ryan. Opie then follows up their post by saying, here's the videos defending and saying what poor taste Ryan did with his parody. I found a comment saying that it's pretty tasteless to include a parody song and video about Ethan killing his dog to a 14-year-old girl who was murdered by a rapper, and I wholeheartedly agree. We love you, Ethan. I'm sorry people still bring this to you to hurt you. Tangled Weeb then posts a response comment that Ryan left on his page. With the caption, Ryan addresses the parody song that mocked Shredder's death. And it's Ryan saying, hey guys, I've gotten a few comments saying they find the parody song a bit tasteless. I know that explaining comedy.
Let's see if he admits to changing it then, to editing the song in any of his replies here where he's acknowledging how bad it is.
Can ruin the joke, but the purpose of the song is to show how if David released a song about killing dogs, everyone would understandably find it incredibly uncomfortable and weird. But when he released a song about killing women, people thought it was totally normal. I'm trying to point out the hypocrisy.
Yeah, but you could have pointed it out without saying how the dog specifically died with cheese, which clearly you understand because you edited the song to take that part out so that you're not saying the dog specifically died from cheese. That's the point being made here. If the point of that parody song was just to show that if David made a song about killing his dog and then his dog died, people would be upset. Why aren't we upset over this girl? You don't need to include how the dog died. You just need to include that the dog died. David didn't say how Celeste was going to die. He just said he killed her. And that showed in your own video. So your parody from the original cut doesn't even match the song you're parodying in the video itself. This defense makes no sense. Just own it, dude. Just own it. You took a shot at Ethan.
Of how people in society get more offended about violence against animals than they do about violence against women. Of course, we should also care about violence against dogs.
Don't try to virtue signal with this. Oh, I'm trying to. It's about women, guys. This was a shot at Ethan and nothing more. The version you have in it now can be interpreted the way you're describing it, but not the original. That's not the message being sent with the original version that I just watched. Go ahead, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Should care about violence against anyone, and any creator who mistreats their dogs should be held accountable for their actions no matter who they are. And I don't care about catering to various fan bases on the internet or massaging the egos of.
I straight up don't believe you right now. I don't believe you. After the version of the video that I just saw, that's the only explanation I can come to is you're trying to cater to Hasan's fans because you think you can get more subs from him than you got from Ethan. That's the conclusion I'm coming to. If the only version of the song that existed was the one in the video I reacted to on my stream the other night, then I'd probably be in your corner a little bit. Then I'd probably buy this a little bit more and say, yeah, maybe. But not now. I think this is pretty blatant.
People who get mad when you call out mistreatment.
Which is ironic that this came from a fucking video where you're pointing out someone blatantly telling you what their crimes are and then acting like what you saw isn't what you saw, and then you put something like this in there blatantly trying to grab at Hasan's audience and trying to convince us that what we saw isn't what we saw.
If you do something I consider harmful, I'm going to call you out on it no matter who you are, and I would expect people to do the same with me. Opie then follows up saying, edit, Ryan is now calling Ethan a bad dog owner, and attaches a link to this image which Ryan says, yes, Shredder died of kidney disease. And Ethan said himself on his podcast that the high sodium content in cheese can lead to kidney disease if you feed too much of it to small dogs, and he wishes he would have done that research ahead of time. It's fine to feed dogs cheese in proper amounts, but feeding small dogs too much cheese can be dangerous for them, which Ethan himself admitted on the podcast. I didn't claim with 100% certainty that feeding the cheese is definitely what killed his dog. Maybe the kidney disease.
You did in the version of the song I saw. He is straight up trying to act like that version doesn't exist now. He's going to do this defense thing and act like that version doesn't exist. Oh, fuck you, Ryan.
Was unrelated to the cheese. I just made a subtle jab at Ethan because I do think he deserves to be made fun of for his negligent treatment of his dog. It's your responsibility as a pet owner to properly research what is and isn't healthy to feed your dog.
And thank you, Internet Versus, for including the original cut of it because I did not know that existed until this. And all that does is highlight and just how terrible his explanations of it are and how he's being deceptive.
Know that if Hasan did the exact same thing with his dog, Ethan would never stop talking about it. You all need to take the L and back down because it is obviously bad that Ethan did.
And then he defends Hasan for some reason. That if Hasan did the same with his, yeah, this was a grab at Hasan's audience. That's all this was.
do the proper research in crafting his dog's diet, and you are all acting like massive hypocrites for acting like Hasan is the most evil dog owner of all time while ignoring Ethan's behavior. And to be clear, I also made fun of Hasan in this song by referencing how he potentially shocks his dog, and based on the evidence available, I think it seems like he does. To me, it seems like both
Oh, how he potentially shocks his dog. So you're not sure if Hasan shocked his dog, even though we saw that happen on camera, but you're 100% sure that Ethan poisoned his dog with cheese, even though you never saw Ethan feed it cheese. Really, Ryan? All right, well, you're snark brained. I think it's pretty fucking obvious now. You are definitely trying to latch onto Hasan's fucking cock.
Hasan and Ethan are bad dog owners, and if
Disappointed! I actually liked you after the Destiny vid, man. I thought you were like that neutral guy who would call out anybody, but this is a sad clout chase. And it's making you look bad. You need to stop.
If you're super offended that I made fun of both of them, you can cope and seethe. Back over to the Reddit post, OP continues by saying, Ethan explains in the video, which people love to share around, that he and Ethan had taken Shredder to the vet on 3 separate occasions in the last year, attaching this clip, which we'll look at here in a moment. They continue, explaining that his symptoms were essentially turned away. Ryan's Ethan should have done research claim is outright bullshit. Ethan had done exactly what a responsible dog owner should do, which was take his pet to the vet when he saw a change in behavior. And then here's the clip that OP attaches.
Cheese. He loves cheese, and I was always sprinkling cheese on his fucking food. And I just wish to fuck, and I'm so pissed at the stupid fucking vet, too, because I took him to the fucking vet 3 times in the past year. I took him 3 fucking times in the past year because he was puking, he was not interested in his food, his breath was super stinky, we thought he had dental problems, and the fucking vet never motherfucking once said anything about Lyme disease. And I could have changed his diet back then, dude.
Just like the minute that we heard about the kidney, obviously we start Googling everything, and then it's like, it's all clear. There's so much information. Like, if they ever just mentioned that, it's just frustrating.
Yeah, it sounds like the vets failed here. If the cheese is really what caused it, then it sounds like the vets failed because they didn't tell them not to do it. You really can't call him a negligent pet owner and hold it against him for not doing something he didn't know about. Like, he's not a vet. How would he possibly know that?
I mean, we went there specifically for his bad breath, and now we know that that's one of
I don't think normal people know not to feed that kind of dog cheese, or that cheese causes. Like, you could probably go stand out front of a Walmart and stop 100 people and ask them, why shouldn't you feed your dog cheese? And they'll be like, I guarantee you most of them are going to go, wait, you can't feed your dog cheese? I thought that was chocolate. Like, I guarantee most people wouldn't know. So why would you expect Ethan to?
the symptoms, but they never even mentioned, like, let's look at his kidneys. Maybe we need to check that.
And if only I fucking knew that then, we could have prevented this shit. Like, fuck. Alfredo's never getting cheese again, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Remarkable March replies to the thread by saying, "Oh, it's funny talking about the traumatic death of a dog and putting up a similar picture of said dog while parodying the harassment statements that Ethan killed him. Glad he cleared that one up. Douche." And Honeybee
True.
Mary says, "As fast as he earned my subscription, he lost it just as fast." No.
Yeah, so these are people from Ethan's, from the audience of Ethan, which he probably knew he was going to lose, but was fine with it, I guess. Because these people are like, as quick as you got my subscription is as quick as you lose it. So maybe he's hoping that he'll get a bunch of quick Hasan subs.
Nothing about that song was funny. Ethan then also responds on his story to Ryan, and in this story he posts messages between himself and Ryan, and we'll start by reading the messages here at the bottom. It starts with Ethan saying, "A super funny new video.
We went over these on my stream, but I'll let him go over them again.
Oh, I love the part where you joked about me killing my dog." And then Ryan hearts it and replies saying, "I think it's totally reasonable to poke fun at you for being negligent and not properly researching what you should be feeding your dog, which you admitted to yourself in your stream when you said that you wish the vet would have told you that too much cheese is dangerous for the kidneys of small dogs. You and I both know that if Hasan did the exact same thing, thing, you would never shut up about it. And Ethan captions this, Ryan Beard thinks it's funny and reasonable to make me relitigate the most heartbreaking and painful loss of my first dog, Shredder. He thinks it belongs in the same video about someone murdering a child and stuffing them in the trunk. Then there is more messages. We'll read those first. It starts with Ethan Klein saying to Ryan Beard, K, I hope Snark enjoys your videos, bro. Good luck. And Ryan replies, fuck Snark. I think they're pieces of shit. You can't just use Snark guilt by association to dodge all accountability. Just like Destiny couldn't just blame Snark to dodge you bringing up him.
Yeah, hearing these again, hearing his conversation with Ethan again with the knowledge of what the original video was now, ooh, they sound way different. It doesn't sound like Ethan is overreacting. It sounds like he's a Hasan simp. He's the stereotypical kind of Hasan simp who's fucking defending this shit and then acting like they're not a snarker when they're called out and being like, fuck Snark.
Him having CP on his computer. And Ethan replies, you are basically accusing me of killing my child as holding me accountable? That's insane. That's it. Bye. And Ryan says, I think you were a negligent pet owner. Ethan captions this at the top by saying, the only reason I felt comfortable DMing him is because he was frequently in our podcast live chats, being pleasant and complimentary, and obviously trying to self-promote, which I didn't mind. I complimented his Destiny video and encouraged people to watch it. Other than these very recent pleasantries, I have never spoken to this man in my life. Then there's more messages here at the bottom, starting with the message we read from Ryan, and then Ethan responding, I saw what you told Bad Empanada too. Very nice friends you have. Snark and Bad Empanada are loving your content, brother. And Ryan replies, more guilt by association? I obviously hate Bad Empanada. No one has directed more harassment at me than him. He still attacks me regularly. That doesn't mean I won't have a conversation with him. I'm also not a fan of your friend Dan Saltman, but I was—
It also makes me not believe any of these excuses he's given now. I am a lot less charitable for his reason to talking to Bad Empanada now than I was last night.
Also willing to have similar conversations with him. Anyway, at this point, I think you, Hasan, and Destiny are all egotistical douches that I don't want anything to do with. And Ethan Klein captions this at the top there by saying, this was after Bad Empanada leaked his private conversations with Ryan Beard in which Ryan said miserable things about me, despite claiming to be a fan of the show in our live chats. Although Ryan said many insanely incorrect and offensive things about me to Bad Empanada, I let it go because it was part of a private conversation with his very dear friend. I have never spoken ill of Ryan despite all of this. And just for a little bit of context for the Bad Empanada and Ryan Beard messages, here's just a couple of them that Gaslighting Document posts in the H2H Productions subreddit with the title,
oh, good job, Internet Versus. He went and got the actual messages that Ryan had with Bad Empanada. All right, let's listen to this conversation and see if it sounds like, you know, he's there to try to research a video, which was the benefit of the doubt I gave him last night, or if it sounds like he's being friendly with Bad Empanada, and Bad Empanada has clearly, poisoned his brain with some H3 Snark talking points.
Some of my fave parts of the Ryan Beard / Bad Emma Panda convo. And there's one here of Empanada saying, this guy has only ever gotten benefits from being Jewish. And Ryan says, yeah, I think that's generally true outside of like being upset by hate speech thrown his way, but that's not like material oppression. This was in May 31st, 2025, by the way.
The Triangle is home to innovation that's anything but artificial. You can find it in hospitals.
Another one from Ryan saying, I guess my question is, do you genuinely think that Ethan wants to ethnically cleanse Palestine? To me, it feels like intuitively he doesn't want this, but then he allows the propaganda he's been taught and Ila's influence and his own fear to cause him to get off track. Then there's another message saying, I think Ethan definitely is a Zionist, even though he thinks he isn't one. I was on the fence until I saw him saying that if Jews become a minority, they will be genocided. And another message saying, that's like the core of Zionism. And Ryan—
yeah, this is mostly Ryan talking, and he's just kind of unloading on Ethan during it. If he had stopped at that first question, I could say, okay, research for a video. But then him saying throwing in his opinions in there, and it definitely sounded like he's become anti-Ethan and doesn't like him. Yeah, it does sound like you're trying to get on Bad and putting out his good side, or did like this was a message of being like, hey, same team, bro.
And says, yeah, you're right. He's weaponizing the trauma of the Jewish community. And can you please try to see me in good faith here? I'm not trying to sweep Ethan's actions under the rug. I always try to predict what counter arguments people could make against me so that I can strengthen my arguments and have airtight criticisms. And OP follows up saying, Bad Emma Panda did release these, but I haven't seen anyone dispute that they're real. Ryan, what benefits do you think Ethan has gotten from being Jewish? Over on r/leftoversh3, DSBat is—
well, he's got access to those Jewish space tasers so he could hit Hasan's dog.
screenshots these posted by Ethan and captions them by saying, Ethan Klein's triple crash out over Ryan Beard's Dog G's song, butthurt alert. And Dusty VT replied,
yep, and everyone who saw the edited version of it is thinking that Ethan is just butthurt. He is successfully gaslighting people with it. Oh, that's fucking dirty. Internet versus out here doing the Lord's work. Somebody needs to show this H3.
Only I can accuse other people of animal cruelty and negligence. If you do it to me, I will litigate. And Slackjaw Festus Hagen replies, right, like don't start shit, won't be no shit. It's that simple. And Dusty says, accuses one of the Paul brothers of animal abuse. Shredder happens. Prongcaller happens. Tried to cancel Hasan. Lost a shitload of subscribers and continuing. Accused Hasan of being a pedophile. Pedo troll happens. Honey and Cinnamon says, I don't even care that Ryan hates us, Lamau. I don't particularly care for Ryan.
See, Destiny seems smart enough to have seen both of them. Or I feel like if he wasn't already mad at Ethan, he would have been able to find both of them and call Ryan out on it. But he is jumping on board the Ethan hate wagon because they're obviously beefing too. Destiny's a disingenuous fuck too, which sucks because he is an intelligent guy. He's not an idiot. But he is malicious and vindictive though. Which is what we're seeing unfold here.
Either. But he's spot on. If Hasan fed Kaya cheese until she died, blamed the vet for not telling him that cheese has so much sodium and can lead to kidney failure, he would accuse San of severe animal abuse. And Roman P replies, whatever you think about Ryan, they do not deserve the harassment from the H3 fans that is inevitably going to come from Ethan's stories. And Gooey Goon replies,
I disagree. I think Ryan does deserve this, especially after not just owning his parody and leaving it in there for people to be their own judge, but trying to gaslight people and changing it. So, yeah, I think just for the sole fact, if he hadn't edited the video, I'd say maybe. But the sole fact that he edited the song to try to make it look not as bad as it originally was and then gaslight people into believing, oh, my joke wasn't that bad. Yeah, you deserve all of the hate that you get. I hope that H3's entire fan base saw the original edit. I'm glad that Internet Versus included it in this video, and I hope a bunch of other people see it too. I hope they see the fast one that you're trying to fucking pull here. And because of that fast one, you deserve every bit of hate coming your way, buddy.
100%. Even if you hate Hasan or share politics with the pedo troll or whatever, I think it is a bad idea to associate with someone who at this point probably is the most morally consistent in his habit of always stabbing his friends and people who associate with him in the back for slop content over anything else. I can't name a single celebrity that has more beefs than the pedo troll, and most of them are former friends and associates. Cam Sasaki also posts one of these stories on the H3H Production subreddit with the caption, Ryan Beard is even more insane in Ethan's DMs. And Upstairs Location replies,
What do you mean you can't name a celebrity with more beefs than Ethan? One of them's our fucking president. What are you talking about? Just look at the history of our goddamn president. This dude beefs with someone every couple years. What are you talking about? Since the 80s. Just do the goddamn math. Dude's got a new controversy every other week. Almost intentionally so.
Who doesn't give their dogs cheese? I'm tired of people acting like he was giving him chocolate or something. What the fuck? Also, it's only thanks to Ethan that I know grapes are not okay for dogs. What the fuck? And OP replies, I had to rush my dog to the vet when she swallowed a whole grape when she was a puppy. They made her vomit and retrieved the full grape, luckily. Some dogs will just get a little sick. Some dogs will die. And Minimal replies, Jesus F. Christ. We have these popular sweet bread bun products with raisins in the country where I live, and my sons love to eat them by picking the raisins out. And oftentimes I found them all over the floor. And my dog is a scavenger who eats anything. I had no idea. Womp womp womp, yeah, replies, how disgusting. Cannot fucking believe these people are comparing murder and blatant animal abuse with feeding your dog cheese. If lovingly feeding your dog cheese is a crime, I am also guilty, and so are most dog lovers. Sending Ethan
careful, commenter. They'll come after you next.
and Hila so much love. Weaponizing the death of Shreddy is so cruel and unfair. And OP replies, I also want to point out the main reason Ethan fed Shredder cheese, because of how picky of an eater he was. He had to put cheese in the food bowl sometimes so he would eat. Ethan talked in length about how he would have to sometimes hand cook all of his meals just to get him to eat. And Double Squealux replies, yep, my dog had kidney disease and she lost her appetite often. I genuinely regret not giving more tasty toppings to keep her weight up. She loved sour stuff, so I would pour a little kefir on top of her food to get her to eat, because at a certain point, it's better they eat anything than nothing at all. Another Ethan Klein Instagram story makes its way to Leftovers H3 when Peace and Love 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 posted with the caption, dogs can eat cheese in moderation, not with every meal. And it's Ethan saying, so I'll say this once for Ryan Beard and anyone else interested in using this tragic loss as a weapon against me. 1, in a state of grief and vulnerability, I expressed the guilt for feeding my dog cheese and lamented if this had anything to do with the kidney disease that ultimately took him. 2,
yeah, everybody's just assuming how much cheese he fed him when he said all he said was the dog loved to eat cheese and I'd give it to him sometimes. He never said how much he gave to him or how often. Everyone's just assuming the worst.
In my grief, I felt an outsized sense of guilt, despite cheese being totally fine for dogs to eat. Importantly, our other dog, Alfredo, who was the same age, size, and diet as Shredder, is perfectly healthy with no kidney issues. I even did extensive lab work on him after Shredder's diagnosis to ensure there weren't any habits that contributed to kidney damage. His kidneys were operating perfectly normal then and now. 3. We and the doctors don't know why he developed kidney disease at age 5. The most likely explanation is that it was a tragic genetic inevitability, which is why I encourage everyone to squeeze and love their pets and family, because you just never know. 4. These types of insane and cruel accusations have only come from snark communities with the transparent goal of hurting me. Ryan is the only person to actually try to legitimize this cruelty by including it in a video essay about the murder of a child and canonize it as a reasonable criticism against me. RIP to my beloved Shredder, who I loved like my own child. And he attaches this picture of them together. There's also this post that Chief Notel put on the HH Production subreddit with the title, Mr. Beard blatantly lies in Papa's chat, and it's Ryan saying in Papa Guts chat. The song is not about Ethan, by the way. It's
Oh yeah, so that's the one from earlier. So he did that in Papa Gut's chat. I'm wondering what version of the video Papa Gut reacted to.
a parody of David talking about murder in his songs. I was only slightly referencing him. I also make fun of Hasan. Entangled We replies, only slightly referencing him. Show a picture of a Yorkie. Shows the top hat meme from the first Shredder tattoo. Admits it's about Ethan in the replies of the pinned comments.
The Triangle's backyard is home to innovation that's anything but artificial. AI powered.
Yeah, fuck off.
So did he admit to it first in the comments? And now he's trying to walk it back and say it's not that big a deal after all of the backlash. So did he also admit to it in the comments? God, I hope he shows that comment.
Ryan, an ad puzzle-headed says, also admits it's about Shredder to Ethan in DMs. Ryan then responded to this on
True, he did admit it was about him in DMs.
His Instagram story by saying, in my recent song, I briefly poked fun at Ethan for feeding his dog too much cheese. Here is him agreeing with me that he fed him too much cheese. I never said that Ethan intentionally killed his dog or that the cheese was 100% the cause of death, but he did feed him too much cheese, which Ethan agrees is dangerous.
You did say that you killed your dog by, I guess because you're saying it was only in a dream. But yeah, in that original version of the song, you did say I killed my dog by feeding him too much cheese. Now he's deceased. That was the line. So you did say it was specifically about the cheese. So he's just straight up lying.
Dangerous. So I made fun of him. End of story. Ethan Klein then responds to Ryan Beard by posting a parody that Puzzlehead made on his Instagram
I just
story.
pulled up Papa Guts' reaction to Ryan Beard's video, and it had the cheese part in it. That was original.
Yeah, so he was watching the cheese version, which is why Ryan was in there defending it and trying to make it sound. So I'm guessing the plan there is, and according to that Reddit post that he just read, he apparently admitted it in the pinned comment at first and then must have edited and changed that too. Because then he said, because the one that Internet Versus found wasn't the one that guy was referencing, but it was the one where he said that it was only slightly. So I'm guessing he edited the video, then went back and edited his comment to make it sound like Papa Gut was overreacting and hoping that people read the comment and went and looked at the video and thought it wasn't that bad, which seems like a weird thing to do, seeing as how in Papa Gut's reaction you can see the cheese line, but maybe he's just hoping people would notice. I don't know. This is like a weird gaslighting attempt thing he's doing, and it's not. It feels like a knee-jerk kind of reaction. Like it's a bad plan, but like I don't know why you thought this would work.
It says,
yeah, it's some pussy vibes. I don't know why he just doesn't own it.
Yeah, he's just not owning it. That's exactly what it's like, a knee-jerk pussy reaction to getting some backlash because he's not used to having backlash. He's used to people being on his side because his videos are good. And now that's what happens when you pick a side in one of these fights. Like I think my most egregious thing here is him going that he's got enough evidence to make a parody song referencing Ethan killing his dog with cheese to say that Ethan killed his dog with cheese. He's got enough evidence to believe that, but not enough evidence, even in that same video, to say definitively that Hasan shocked his dog. If you don't believe Hasan shocked his dog, then you can't also believe that Ethan killed his. There's more evidence to say that Hasan shocked his dog than there is evidence to say that Ethan poisoned his with cheese. So if you're not willing to say that Hasan shocked his dog, then you can't be willing to say that Ethan killed his. That just makes no sense. That's just you being disingenuous. And that is exactly what comes out in his own video. Maybe he realized that, and that's why I changed it. I'm trying to figure out the reason for the change, other than a fucking clout cash grab, subscriber grab from the audience of Hasan, and then like this really bad gaslighting attempt. It's trying to figure out the reason. Maybe he realized that, oh, that's not fair to Ethan, but then why own it in the DMs? Because if you were going, well, I guess that doesn't make sense for me to definitively say that Ethan killed his dog with cheese in this song, but then say Hasan maybe shocked his dog, and give her. It doesn't seem fair to give Hasan the benefit of the doubt, not Ethan, when there's more evidence against Hasan. That maybe that's a bad look for me. Maybe I should change it. Maybe that's why I changed it. But if that's the case, then why are you trying to gaslight everybody? Why not just own that? I'm not even against the change if you had a good reason to make the change, but then acknowledge the fact that you changed it, because you know somebody's archived it. Once you put it on the internet, it's on the internet, bro. Like, it's how the internet works. You've been in the game long enough to understand that. So I'd be okay with the change if you acknowledged the change and had a good reason for it, and just said, yeah, I've edited the song to make it less obvious. I didn't mean to definitively say that Ethan killed his dog with cheese, but he may have. Just like I don't want to definitively say that Hasan shocked his dog, but he may have. So I took shots at both of you for the same reasons, and I'm trying to be fair. And if you did that, I think probably a lot of people would have let it go. I mean, there would have been people still mad that you made it at all, but you can still kind of half own it and change it. Like, you could have like met in the middle and done that and probably been okay. But this weird gaslighting bullshit that you're doing, the more you try to lie to the internet, the more it's going to try to prove you wrong. Like, they're not going to let you live this down. This one's going to follow him for a while.
Song, I briefly poked fun at Eric Clapton for letting his son fall out the window and showing pictures of kids that looked exactly like his kid on the screen. Here is him agreeing with me that he should have been there. I never said that he intentionally pushed his son out the window or that a lack of supervision was 100% the cause of his death, but they did leave the window open, which Eric agrees was dangerous. So I made fun of him. End of story. Shout out Puzzlehead. He'd post these on his page with the caption Ethan Klein responds to Ryan Beard's IG story explanation of why he made fun of Shredder, and Rellerot replies, Ryan Beard was writing essays justifying the song, calling it a subtle jab. Then Ryan was in Papa Gut's chat saying the song wasn't even about Ethan. The entire song is about Ethan's dog Shredder. Uses its death date. Ethan responded to it.
Yeah, it even used the date. Okay, that's even more. I didn't notice the date on the tombstone because that original song had a picture of a tombstone on it. If the date on the tombstone is the date of his dog's death, that's not a fucking coincidence, dude. That's blatant. Especially when you just made an entire ass fucking video pointing out how David would release songs on Celeste's birthday. So clearly you understand the importance of putting a date in something. What the fuck, man?
Ryan deleted his own comments justifying it, attaching the stuff we've already looked at, the message from Papa Guts, etc. And Rellerot continues, the references to Hasan are 2 mentions of a shock within 20-second time span. The rest of the 4-minute song uses Shredder's likeness, death date.
So that song was originally 4 minutes? And the version we watched, it was cut down to 20 seconds, which is ironically the amount of time they just said he referenced Hasan. So he cut it down to match the time too. Because Hasan got a mention for 20 seconds. And he cut Ethan's song down to about 20 seconds, removing the reference to cheese. And now he's trying to gaslight the internet into believing that's the way that was the entirety of the song. See, it was a subtle reference, just like the Hasan one. Oh, fuck you, dude.
And multiple use of overfeeding of cheese as the cause of death throughout the entire song. And here's the lyrics from the part of the song about shocking. It says, I only killed them.
All right, so he's got the lyrics from the entirety of the song where it lasts 4 minutes. I only kill them in my dreams. I only kill them in my dreams. I never shock them in my streams. So the song had a reference to... Oh, no, that's the part of the video. Yeah, this is 40 minutes into the video. So this is where he referenced Hasan, and it was literally 2 lines. I never shock them in my streams. I feed them the right amount of cheese. I only kill them in my dreams. Oh, no. Oh, no. This was at the end of the video. Did he have 2 versions of the song? And then he played more of it at the end? And I just stopped. Hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back to his
I've
video.
been releasing
and I just turned it off
video.
too early because he did it. It is still in there. I stopped my reaction too early. I saw his end cards and cut the reaction. He plays the full song at the end. Hold on. Check it out. Let's pull this up on stream. I'm doing it on stream, not in Discord, because I don't want to have to reload a second video, but here's the entirety of the song that we didn't watch when we originally reacted to it because he put it after the end cards and after the outro to his video. So I thought the video was over and cut it there. I should have let it play. So this is the full song
On this channel. All right. See you later.
He even says the date at the beginning. Check it out.
On September 16, I killed my dog in a dream.
See, that's where it cuts in the intro.
Only
He just plays this part, and he cuts it there.
I fed him too much cheese.
So I didn't see any of this before.
He shit out his brains.
I fed him too much cheese. He shit out his brains.
And then he passed away.
He shit out his brains and then he passed away. So he's way more graphic in this than the one Internet Versus even showed.
But only in my dream. And then coincidentally, my real dog died on that very same day. But that had nothing to do with me. I only killed him in my dream.
References the dog's death again on exactly that date.
So many dreams.
So many dreams about killing canines.
About killing canines. But I don't do that stuff in real life. In real life, I love puppies. I only kill them in my
Shows Shredder's picture again, or at least the same breed.
dreams. Only in my dreams.
Oh, I totally see why Ethan was pissed now. And I still don't understand his gaslighting attempt. I guess this is a little better. Maybe you're hoping people will do what I did. Since I'll take back everything I said about you editing because I didn't realize this was at the end. But maybe you're hoping people will do what I did and cut the video off when they see your end cards. Because you know people don't usually watch past the end cards. So then they'll go back and read your comment about how subtle it was and be like, yeah, I watched this video. It was subtle. Maybe that's what you're doing. Oh, it's still slimy. It's still fucking slimy to not own it. Just fucking own it. Especially if you're leaving it in the video. Because you could cut after your end card and then do the gaslighting and people might not know. Some people wouldn't. If I hadn't noticed the timestamps on the transcript that were on the Internet Versus video, then I wouldn't realize it was actually at the end. I would have thought you edited this out.
In my dreams.
Alright, so we are, where's his end card? Alright, so we're now 2 minutes into this song, and it has been 100% about Ethan. Where's because you said you referenced Hasan in it too, so how much of this, so it's this is a 4-minute song, it's the second half of it dedicated to Hasan, so you're fair? Is that what we're about to see now?
Only in my dreams. In my Tesla, you will find.
Now he's referencing David, which makes sense because it's what you're parodying. You're tying it back to David.
So many skeletons of canines.
And another reference to Ethan's dog.
But that has nothing to do with me. My ops put them there to frame me. My brain is like Jekyll and Hyde. In dreams I commit puppy genocide. But my light side always succeeds. I feed them the right amounts of cheese. I know.
And references feeding them cheese again. I know lactose is bad for them.
No, lactose is bad for them. Don't want them to end up in doggy heaven. Their deaths had nothing to do with me. I only killed them in my dreams. Only in my dreams. In my dreams.
Yeah, so far the whole thing feels like a shot at Ethan. There was one line about a Tesla car to loop it back to David, and the rest is just like Ethan killed his dog. That's how this comes off.
Only in my dreams. I only kill them in my dreams. I only kill them in my dreams. I never shock them in my streams.
All right, so we got one line about Hasan.
I feed them the right amounts of cheese. I only kill them in my dreams. I only kill them in my dreams. I never shock them in my streams.
And a repeat of that one line.
I feed them the right amounts of cheese. On September 16th.
So I don't think he made fun of Hasan at all during the video we watched last night. That's why I don't remember it. I think what everyone, or what he's referencing when he said I also made fun of Hasan, was that one singular line in an entire song about Ethan's dog. You disingenuous fuckwit. Why are you trying to gaslight people? Especially if you're leaving it in the video, we can just all go watch it right now like I'm doing. It is incredibly obvious what this is. You would almost have a point. You would almost have a point that you could be making with all of this if you owned it. And that point would be to own your lyrics. But instead, you're doing exactly the same thing in real life. So don't back like it was a parody part of your video. You're doing it in comments and in DMs. You're doing the same thing in real life that you're accusing David of doing for all of your video with his music. Where you could own it in real life and own it in the comments and say, yeah, that was the point. That was the point. Is that you own you own your art. And I'm owning it. Yes, I took a shot at Ethan. And yes, I believe David killed that girl. I don't think his songs lied, just like mine didn't lie. I believe he killed his dog. If you owned that, then you would be making a point, a little meta point about your own video. But instead, you look like a fucking hypocrite.
I killed my dog in a dream, only in a dream.
All right, so, oh, what do you mean lost connection? Reconnecting. Okay, well, Discord. I think I remember where we're at. I remember the screenshot. Okay, yeah, it remembered where we're at. It just reconnected. Ah, man, this thing's kind of unstable. But, you know, it works, so let's react together. All right, well, there you go. We've saw the entirety of this music video now that they're all referencing. It is still in his original video. He didn't cut it. But he did put it after the end card, which I would argue is just as bad. And now you're trying to gaslight people. This is as bad as when Carl Jobs included in a segment, apology segment to Billy Mitchell at the end of a 45-minute long Dark Souls video, which he also did by putting it after his end cards when most people wouldn't see it. So Ryan Beard's using the Carl Jobs method of trying to hide stuff in plain sight. And now he's being called on it. And he's trying to gaslight everybody into being like, only he did it a little bit worse because he included a safe version of it at the beginning. So if anyone went to check his vid to see what they're talking about, they'll see that version in the beginning and probably stop watching and go, yeah, Ryan's right. It's very subtle. So this is even worse than what Carl Jobs did. Because he's actively trying to gaslight people with it. Why include it twice in the video? Why do an edited version that's safe in the video and include that whole thing at the end? I think the whole thing at the end was for Hasan's audience. And he would probably, you know, brag about it to them and knowing that they would stay and watch it and, you know, hoping that most normal people wouldn't. Fuck you, Ryan Beard.
The moment.
God, how do I reload this? The fucking Discord one is looping again.
The moment.
Anyway. Ugh. God damn it. Okay, now it says lost connection again. Ugh.
Life isn't about what we take
Aggravating.
with us. It's about who we are and what we leave behind.
Oh my god, how many ads? Before I can try again here.
Story, Ryan, this is what you sound like. An acceptable limit replies, all the lies aside, even if the cheese bullshit was 100% true, making fun of someone for a mistake they made that led to a loved one dying is one of the cruelest things I can imagine doing. It's up there with deportation ASMR
Now
and
let me
Westboro
pause it.
Baptist Church coming to funerals with their burning in hell signs.
Here we go.
Multiple use of overfeeding of cheese as the cause of death throughout the entire song. And here's the lyrics from the part of the song about shocking. It says, I only kill them in my dreams. I only kill them in my dreams. I never shock them in my streams. I feed them the right amounts of cheese. I only kill them in my dreams. I only kill them in my dreams. I never shock them in my streams. Again, Puzzleheaded Age puts the Instagram story that we looked at earlier from Ethan parodying Ryan.
Yeah, so yeah, a singular line about Hasan that repeats once. A safe joke to make on Hasan to still court his audience that you hope they would forgive. Yeah, this still feels like a clout grab to me, especially considering your gaslighty behavior in the DMs and comments after it.
Captioning it, new Ryan Beard Insta story, Ryan, this is what you sound like. An acceptable limit replies, all the lies aside, even if the cheese bullshit was 100% true, making fun of someone for a mistake they made that led to a loved one dying is one of the cruelest things I can imagine doing. It's up there with deportation ASMR and—
No, I'm 100% on board with all of these guys now. That song was 100% unnecessary. Even if you knew with 100% certainty that cheese was the cause of death, which, by the way, you don't, but let's pretend for a second that you do. Even if you knew, this is still in really bad taste and I would still call snark behavior, because this is the type of shit that bad empanada and only snark people would do.
and Westboro Baptist Church coming to funerals with their burning in hell signs. Why would anyone deserve to be made fun of for something like this? What is with all these psychopaths in this sphere? And OP replies, I truly don't know. That's why we're all so confused. And like Frenchie says, I honestly think some dummies forget that the people they've watched for so long are real people with real feelings. They think that one more poking fun of them doesn't matter because Ethan is used to it. Over on Leftovers Age 3.
I'll agree with that. I think a lot of hate that Ethan gets now, because I don't understand why he gets the amount of hate he does, but I think a lot of people just look at it like he's a punching bag, and they go, oh, I mean, what's one more time? People make fun of him all the time. Why can't I? Like, I think people just want to pile on. I think that's what because it's fun to do. It's fun to pile on, and you know he can take it.
DS Bad posts Ryan Beard's original story and Ethan's parody and captions it by saying, update to my previous post. Ethan Klein was sharing a fake Ryan Beard story post with the real context swapped for his strange analogy. We will give this butthurt alert a level 7 on the mauled meter. And Cut You replies, does he think people don't make fun of Eric Clapton for doing so much cocaine he let his son fall out of a window? And Gooey Goon says, pedo troll, the Eric Clapton of dog care negligence. Does he truly believe Clapton shares no accountability for what—
Is he in Snark? Where is he getting these Reddit posts from?
happened? Not to mention, comparing him cheesing a dog to death for years does not compare to a 4-year-old boy falling out of a 53rd—
him cheesing a dog to death. Yeah, I think he's in the Snark sub. Which sounds a lot like the lyrics to Ryan's song, doesn't it?
floor apartment building window.
Cheesing the dog to death.
Even if Shredder was beloved, these are just plainly not comparable things. And unequivocally maybe replies, Eric Clapton wasn't even present when Connor fell. Connor was in the apartment with his mom, who had custody of him, his nanny, and a maintenance worker. He was a shitty, absent father. But there was no culpability for the horrible accident there. I think the guilt he felt was mostly that he wasted the precious 4 years Connor was alive, and that he was too scared when he got the call to rush to the scene, and his son died without him. Eric Clapton is a piece of shit for many reasons, but as far as I know, he had 0 parts in the events of that day.
Yeah, he wasn't even present or responsible for the child when that happened, but comparing those two is ridiculous.
People also tweeted about the situation and Ryan responded to them, like the girl with a microphone who tweets out, "Excellent video, Ryan Beard. I'm sure your bedazzled personalized shock collar is in the mail." And Ryan replies, "You do realize I also made fun of Hasan in that exact same
and he is going to latch on to that one line anytime someone like calls him a Hasan dick right. You do realize I made fun of. That's why he put that one line in there. So he had plausible deniability. That's a plausible deniability line. It's one fucking sentence, Ryan. It doesn't make the rest of the song okay, and it doesn't make you not a Hasan fucking dick writer, dude. Don't be an idiot. Like, do you really think people are gonna buy this shit? Seriously?
song. And Girl with a Microphone says, "Ethan didn't kill his dog, you absolute ghoul." In an Alfredo parody account, Ethan's other dog replies, "Bro, you were just being a cruel asshole implying it was his fault my brother died." Howling Burrito tweets out, "Ryan Beard announces a Hasan bad video. Hasan starts throwing a fit, which inevitably causes Ryan to give into peer pressure. Backs down. Has zero problem with calling Ethan Klein a dog murderer."
Wait, is that true? Did Ryan announce he was going to do a video on Hasan? And then Hasan freaked out, so Ryan made a video on this instead and included shots at Ethan as like an apology. That makes a little more sense then if that's true, because that would mean that he announced he was going to do a video on Hasan and Hasan freaked out. So he said, crap, I can't do my Hasan video now. I don't want that smoke. So I'll do a video on David, but I'll include some shots at Ethan in it as an apology to Hasan and to make Hasan think we're cool. Yeah, I'm on that. Still a clout grab, but that answered my question as to why you would do this then, because I was like, why do the clout grab? It feels unnecessary. But now it feels necessary. If you had already made it clear to Hasan that you weren't a fan of his and you were going to do a hit piece on him, or what he would interpret to be a hit piece, and then you back down and did this as an apology, well, now it explains why you would include a bit on Ethan in it. Got it.
Gotta love where Ryan picks and chooses to have a spine, Lamau. This is why you can't ever trust a leftist. Ryan Beard was only good for a Destiny bad at a time where Destiny has zero favor from the public. Now he went for easy pickings going after H3. But you can't make the Every Time Hasan Lies video because of audience backlash. And Ryan replies, "First of all, the video that I canceled was criticizing both Ethan and..."
So he did cancel that one. Got it.
Hasan. Second of all, the song that I just...
So if the video you canceled was about Ethan and Hasan, for some reason, putting those two together, fine. Okay, so you don't like any of them. I would believe you if you made that video and you said you didn't like Ethan, Destiny, or Hasan. I think you're all douchebags. I would believe you. I would believe that is what you really felt if you made your video and didn't cancel it. But the thing is, you canceled it, but then still made a parody song on Ethan? And Hasan gets off light. Well, it doesn't sound like you think they're all douchebags anymore, brother. If you were going to cancel it, then just cancel it. Why include anything about either of them at all in your video about David? You could have wrote that parody song about 100 other things. Doesn't have to be an influencer. Why this? Why Ethan? And yeah, you got your one throwaway line on Hasan for plausible deniability, but why Ethan? It's mostly Ethan. And you know it's mostly Ethan. You know exactly what you're doing, and so do the rest of us. You're fooling no one here. You put that in there as an apology to Hasan after you saw he freaked out over the video because you want to be on good terms with him because you want his audience. Or you at least don't want to get attacked by his audience.
just released also made fun of Hasan for probably shocking his dog. I've criticized Hasan many times, including in the song that you are currently referencing. And Howling Burrito replies, first and foremost, you canceled the video once Hasan/H3 Snark spanked your ass over the announcement of a critique video on him. Second of all, no one is going to take a song seriously. You know this full and well considering you made a 90-minute Destiny video. Stop being a pussy. And he attaches this screen.
Yeah, word. He is being a pussy. He's bending the knee to Hasan. And another one kisses the ring, ladies and gentlemen.
Screenshot of a Ryan Beard tweet where Ryan says, hey everyone, so I've decided to pussy out of making a video about Ethan and Hasan, lol. When I announced that I was working on a video trying to get a level-headed perspective on the situation, critiquing everyone involved, I didn't expect that I would be threatened by Hasan and attacked by the H3 Snark subreddit for weeks and get a bunch of threats in my DMs. I've kind of realized that everyone in the internet is super entrenched in their opinions on this stupid drama war, and no one is really interested in hearing me try to give—
Dude, this stupid drama war? How could you not realize that? And I get it, this is somebody parodying him, but no, this is Ryan Beard himself. Okay, how could you not realize that? How could you not realize that everyone is entrenched over this stupid internet drama war? This internet drama war is the biggest one that's ever happened. It has transcended the internet. Hasan Piker is getting mentions on Fox News. They're referencing this drama in mainstream media. We are like a week or two away from the president knowing about it and talking about it in a weird way with his tiny hands. So this isn't just internet drama anymore. Yeah, people are picking sides in this the way they pick sides in politics because it's become that politically charged that they're showing it on political talk shows. And I wouldn't be surprised if the fucking president makes a mention of it. I think JD Vance did. Like, it's almost reached the top of the country, bro.
Give nuanced takes on it. And I kind of just want to swear off talking about leftist/liberal infighting in general. Anyway, free Palestine. If you all want to think that I'm a liberal Zionist because I think Bad Empanada is a disgusting psychopath for his history of doxing and brigade—
I don't believe that you think any of these people are psychopaths. I don't believe that you fully disagree with Bad Empanada. I think you frequent H3 Snark. Maybe you don't post there, but you read it. And I think you agree with a lot of it. You just don't want to own that either, because you're a pussy.
And threatening to kill people and harassing people and saying the left should care less about anti-Semitism, you can feel free to see me that way. And if you want to call me a pussy for backing out, you would probably be right. I just think the online left is an absolute shit show right now, and I just want to move on and do my own thing. And Howling continues.
Yeah, but what you're doing is not moving on. If what you wanted to do was move on, you would have made your video on David, something that's not politics based at all. Doesn't have anything to do with the left, since you claim the left is a bad space right now, and doesn't have anything to do with the right either. You could have avoided politics and the drama entirely by just focusing your video on David. You chose not to do that though, didn't you, brother?
Continue saying, I'd have more respect for you if you just admit that you went after Ethan Klein because it's easier to get away with.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. Everyone would have more respect for you if you just fucking own it, because it's so fucking obvious that you not owning it is insane.
Than going after Hasan. And Ryan says, that makes absolutely no sense when I equally made fun of Hasan in the exact—
You didn't equally make fun of Hasan. Hasan got one line in your song that you repeated as part of a chorus. One fucking line in a 4-minute song. David also got one line in that 4-minute song. What were the other 3 minutes and let's call it 30 seconds if I'm being generous? Oh, the rest of it was about Ethan? Fuck off, dude. Who do you think you're fooling here? I am less pissed off at your lack of spine at this point as I am with your insulting our intelligence.
Exact same song I made fun of Ethan in, which you are currently referencing. And Howling says it absolutely does, considering you went with the H3 Snark narrative that Ethan killed his dog and comparing to David, a jackass. Equal footing would have been making fun of Hasan's dead dog Fish, not the current living one. Stop the cap, buddy. And Ryan replies, I don't think Ethan intentionally killed his dog. I think he fed him too much cheese, which could have potentially been dangerous for him, which Ethan agrees with.
So you're not saying that you don't think H3 killed his dog. You are saying H3 killed his dog. Now you're just saying you don't think he did it intentionally. So you do believe that Ethan killed his dog.
A whole bunch more of that interaction between Ryan Beard and Bad Empanada. If you want to see a video going over that in particular, let me know in the comments. But for—
I'll definitely be leaving that in your comments, brother. I do want to see you. If you've got that conversation, pull it up. I'm gonna try to find it myself. It's probably going to be hard to find. And I don't have time to look like this guy does, so I'll let you put the work in on that one. Just because I don't have the time. But I do want to see that entire conversation. I want to analyze that shit to see if it sounds like he's just questioning Bad Empanada or if he's agreeing with him softly. Not blatantly. I don't think Ryan's that stupid. But I do think that he's going to be agreeing with him, but doing it in a way that, again, gives him plausible deniability because he's a pussy. Because he's a spineless fuck.
For now, a shout out to our Tier 3 members, Internet Representatives Akiko, Salsao, Coldest Bandito, and Captain Crash Out. Thank you guys so much for the supports, and I'll see you all in the next video.
The triangle's backyard.
Alright. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Well, that was way worse than I thought it was. Holy fuck. I did not realize that original song was still in the video. I did not realize that happened. I can't believe I missed it during my own reaction to it. So, lesson learned in my content creation journey. Always play the videos till the end. End cards don't mean end of video. Because you can put those in early, apparently. Oh, because you can fake those. He baited us and he almost got me. But thank you, Internet Versus, for pointing it out.
I saw clips of the cheese part from the song, but I didn't know that it was like separate from the intro.
Yeah, I didn't either because I went back and rewatched the intro and I was like, that's not in the song. I legitimately thought he edited that out of the song. I thought he edited the song to only include those first couple lines and then cut everything after it. I thought he basically freaked out and got scared and edited his video because he didn't want to own it. But no, you left it in your video, yet you still don't want to own it, which makes even less sense. Well, that's going to be the last Ryan Beard video I'll probably watch on stream. I mean, it was a good video on David. I'll give him that. And if he's really trying to avoid this drama and stuff, just do that. Just focus on stuff that has nothing to do with this drama and has nothing to do with politics. There's still plenty of stuff out there to cover it. Turkey Tom manages to find a way to do it. And he gets way more views than you do. No one's calling him a Hasan dick rider or an H3 fanboy or Destiny dick rider. He avoids all of those allegations while still being able to get millions of views on videos he posts on a regular basis about topics that have nothing to do with politics and nothing to do with the Ethan Hasan Destiny drama. He can avoid all three of those creators and still be successful. You could too, if that's what you really wanted. It's very clear to me that's not what you want. You have chosen a side. But you're too fucking spineless to fucking own it. That's my take on it.